All right, guys. Joe Saglimbeni back again on Saturday, January 15th for another live stream. A little late today because I've been very busy at my real job. But this is Let's Chat Live. It's Saturday, and today we're going to talk about my investment thesis for 2022. So basically, what I'm looking to invest this year and what I'm looking, what are some of my ideas and what stocks or cryptos I am going to be going into this year. And basically, it's continued to be a successful formula, and I'll try to explain some of my way of looking at things going for this year. So I figured it'd be a good time. It's January. I'm going to be doing an update of how I did against the stock market. I'll be doing a video hopefully this week. Be putting a video out on that on how I performed against the S&P 500 with my IRA and just stocks against the S&P 500. So let's get to it. If anyone's out there, let me know if you could hear me and see me, obviously. And if you like this channel, like this video when it becomes a video on YouTube, please share, like, let that algorithm work for me. Give me a thumbs up. Let's share these ideas to help everyone become a better investment or investor. And a little bit about me, Joe Saglimbeni, blue collar worker, 3 decades of investments, investing knowledge. I've been investing in stock markets for over decades, cryptos for the last couple of years, and I'm just basically giving my opinion here. So, no financial advice. I do not play a financial professional on YouTube. I'm just a blue collar worker trying to figure this thing out and giving you my opinions and kind of showing you my performance. So this is Let's Chat Live. This is my YouTube channel. So before we go to me sharing my screen, let me explain how I've been investing for the last, let's say, decade. And it's probably longer than that, but let's make it the last decade. Basically, with my stock portfolios, I try to keep a small basket of stocks. I analyze these stocks myself. I do all the homework. Obviously, I watch CNBC and I watch Bloomberg and I, listen to financial professionals. But I've been doing this for a while and I basically do my own analysis. And what I do in my IRA, most of my investments in my IRA are in dividend growth stocks. A small basket, about 12 stocks, give or take, of dividend stocks, large companies, or well, actually mid cap to large cap companies that pay dividends and raise their dividends consistently. But these stocks have to have growing revenues, growing EPS, growing market share, and kind of a moat. And what basically a moat is, there's not much competition in their field. And that isn't always a requirement, the moat part of this, but depending on industries, you got to kind of figure out the moat and these companies. So, for example, let's say the chip industry, you may have AMD, Intel, Texas Instruments, NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductor, and many other chip makers. So it's a large space. But these chip makers do things, each chip company does their own specific thing. So it's a little deeper analysis on, let's say, chip companies. So just keep that in your head that not everything is a moat. So basically, that's what I do. All right. And when it comes to cryptos, I basically have stuck to large cap cryptos and projects that I like. So obviously, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, no financial advice. I am not a financial professional. Please reach out to your own financial professional. But in my opinion, every investor that wants to get into cryptos should start with Bitcoin and Ethereum without a doubt. And those are the two largest cap coins or cryptos. And they are the ones that are probably going to be around in the next 5 or 10 years. And Ethereum is probably the crypto that has the most utility. And Bitcoin is really more of a scarcity vehicle because only 21 million Bitcoins will be mined. And it's a scarce type of crypto, but doesn't have the same uses as Ethereum. So those are the two that I will continue to hold or hodl. And then I'm looking at projects in cryptos, about 5 or 6 other projects. So I will get into this. So let me start sharing my screen because as I talk, I'd like to put these investments on the screen for 2022. So let me put them up here. Let me share my screen. First, you're going to see my great. Let me share this. All right, that's me. So again, please, as you can see, I only have just over 1,000 subscribers. I need some more subscribers. So please like, share, comment, and definitely if you like this or don't like this, still subscribe because I could use the subscriptions. All right, so let's get that out of the way and get into this. So let's start with let's start with. So I'm going to use TradingView and Yahoo Finance. Okay, and I already have a screen up here, but let's close this out. I'm going to X these out here a little bit. This is the S&P 500, and we're going to make a time frame of 1 year. And let me just see. Are you okay? Yeah, so you're seeing pretty good here. We're going to make a time frame of 1 year, and this is the S&P 500. So what I'm going to basically do is, since the S&P 500 is the Standard & Poor's 500 largest cap companies, I'm going to compare. Sometimes I'm going to compare on this live stream my picks to this, but basically, my portfolio is going to consist of dividend growth stocks that are growing their revenues. Most of the time, I want them to grow revenues. So I'm going to give an example of one of my stocks that I like, which is, of course, Nike. I'm putting in here against the S&P 500. So understand that this is going to be a long journey. So right now you're looking at a chart here of the S&P 500 1 year versus Nike, and you're going to see that Nike hasn't done a great job against the S&P 500 for the 1 year. So I don't look at equities that way, really. I look at them as businesses that I want to own for many years. And these businesses are going to have bad years. They're going to be more volatile than the S&P 500. And that's not to say that if you don't want to invest in stocks, individual securities, that's on you. But in my case, I love investing in individual companies. So in the case of Nike, I've had it for many years. Hey, Tectonic, how are you? Can you hear me well, by the way? One of my favorite stream members coming in all the time. Tectonic, can you hear me? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. So basically, a company like Nike has many years of growing revenues and growing their dividends every year, and it's got a moat in its industry, some kind of moat, in its industry. It's like an apparel. Thank you so much. All right, so let's talk about this. Let me put Nike back up here. So that one year, Nike, this one year over year, Nike is down. But I'm going to do 2 years here, and you'll see that Nike starts outperforming the S&P 500. And that's the equities that I am looking for. Some of my favorites are Nike, Microsoft. We'll add that in there. And now we're on the 2 year chart. And you see Microsoft outperforming the S&P 500. Another one would be Lowe's. They're similar to Home Depot, but I particularly like Lowe's. They're a little small in Home Depot, and they're still kind of growing. Let's go with Mastercard. So the credit card companies like Mastercard, and you see the 2 years is only 15%. The credit card companies are going through a weird change because cryptos and Square and PayPal and fees are the way they charge fees, the way the credit card companies charge fees are causing issues with the underlying stock. Now, I totally believe that it's not about the stock, it's about MasterCard's network. And that no matter what anybody says, at least in the next decade, you're still going to continue to use plastic. So that's a stock that I also like. Now, I want to pause here for a second. I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to keep going into some of the equities that I own. Those are some of the equities that I own. But maybe when I get into my video of how I performed against the S&P 500, I'll go into my portfolio. Yes, Tectonic Microsoft is real nice. I will go into my core portfolio, which will have about 10 or 11, 12 stocks, and how it did against the S&P 500. But right here now, I'm talking about my investment thesis, and I'm trying to tell everyone out there: strong companies, strong moats, revenues that are growing, dividend raises every year, medium to large companies, and those are some of my examples. Now, let's go into cryptos. So I'm going to use TradingView for cryptos, just because I think it's a little easier to use. I may go to Yahoo also, but some of the cryptos that I'm going to be investing in is going to be Ethereum is one of them, right? Another one is going to be Bitcoin. BTC. Another one's going to be Bitcoin. And I'm also, so on these charts, you'll see, let's see if we can do 5 year here and change this to Bitcoin. US dollar here. Okay. So it's a 5 year chart, Bitcoin. And actually, what I'll do is I'll utilize Yahoo because you know why? I want to do a little comparison. And I think it may be a little bit easier on Yahoo. So here's Bitcoin. We're going to go 1 year. And now, I told you Bitcoin, and let's just put them in here, Ethereum, right? And Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin easily. Now, let's talk about these two. Let me just put this chart up for you real quick. You're going to see that Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin. But let me explain a little bit about why I think you need to own Bitcoin and Ethereum as your core, sort of your pillars, sort of your two big stores in a mall, and then you have the little stores in the middle here. These are your anchor stores, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So basically, Bitcoin, which is like digital gold, Bitcoin is a scarcity type asset and it's very decentralized, meaning that it's secure, it could be held, it's very hard to, very easy to transfer, and you could peg. I see a future of people pegging things like they peg to oil, they peg to silver, they peg to gold with Bitcoin. Bitcoin can be a definitely a gold, and I think there is a future for Bitcoin for that purpose, like an asset, like a scarcity asset. But I really, my largest position is really Ethereum. Ethereum is sort of like, kind of like the network of a mass amount of digital apps, and they all kind of need Ethereum to work. And it's the largest blockchain network, and it has layer ones, layer twos. It has apps that are in the NFT space, in the DeFi space, like decentralized finance space, lending, staking. They Most of the cryptos you trade, stuff like Dogecoin or stuff like Avalanche or stuff like Atom or any of these tokens, they're connected to Ethereum. Ethereum being the main network that are working off that these apps are working off of. These are the tokens. I think Ethereum is here to stay. Now there are other blockchains that are competing with it, Cardano, Polkadot, but Ethereum is the big boy, the one that everyone looks, the one that everyone follows. And it is decentralized and it's getting more decentralized because it's going to be going to proof of stake, which makes it more secure than some of the other blockchains and a true kind of decentralized trust mechanism like computer algorithm that can you can only move forward when certain algorithm or mathematical formulas say that you can perform. It's very secure. It's slow, and it's working on a level two ZK rollups, a layer two ZK rollups. It's working to get faster. So what you have is sometimes you have high gas fees in Ethereum, and the reason why you have high gas fees is because it is the most utilized blockchain. People are using it. Users are using it. And that's a good thing if you invest in Ethereum. And so those are the two cryptos that I think that right now you would need in your portfolio. Now, I say you start there. Now, my thesis, what are some of the cryptos that I'm still looking at and I'm looking for in 2022? These are projects. A lot of these cryptos are tied to projects. And I'm going to give you a few of them that I kind of like. And I'll put them here right now on the Yahoo here. And I'm going to compare them to Ethereum and Bitcoin. And we're going to stay in the 1 year range because some of them are new. So let's start with Polkadot. I'm going to be investing a little bit more into Polkadot. And this is similar. It's a blockchain that is going to try to compete with Ethereum. I also like Atom, which is Cosmos. Another one that has many uses. And I'm going to give you one more that I really kind of like, and that is Terra Luna, which is riskier, more volatile. And so now let's look at, see, let's look at, I don't know why Terra Luna, that's not right. Let's just hold on for a second. There it is. All right. So you're going to see Terra Luna in 1 year has outperformed so much so that I'm gonna have to erase it from my Yahoo chart because I want to show you the other ones. So I'll start. Let's see if we can go 6 months here, and you're going to see that Atom was negative 14%. Ethereum was 74%. Dot. I can't even see myself. So let's get Luna out of here. All right, there we go. So let's check out Dot against. Okay, we'll talk about Dot a little bit. So Dot against Bitcoin. Dot is at about 103% in, let's go 1 year, 117% to Bitcoin, 17%. Anyway, it doesn't really matter right now about performance. Let's talk about these cryptos. So Dot, Atom, Ethereum, blockchain networks, Bitcoin, scarcity element there, and Terra Luna. Terra Luna I really like is because there is a stable coin, the UST, connected to Terra Luna, and it has these, it has some kind of scarcity, a deflationary effect in Luna. So I kind of like them. So those are some of the cryptos that I'll be looking for. They're very hard to explain, but those are some of the cryptos that I am looking for going forward. So how am I investing? Let me hide this. How am I investing for the year of 2022? So most of it's going to be stock market equities, but I'm increasingly building a crypto portfolio, and I find myself investing a lot more energy and time and my money into cryptos. on a non-IRA, non-retirement account, as opposed to getting into stocks on a non-IRA account. In my IRA, I invest in equities. Outside of my IRA, I've been increasing the investments in crypto. So I just wanted to kind of explain that to you. All right, guys. This has been a long live stream. I'm so sorry about that. But that's my thesis. Look for my video coming soon about how I did against the S&P 500 this past year. And at that being said, I'm going to say goodbye. All right, guys, and I'll see you next Saturday. And like and share. And I helped you with you guys with this video. I mean this live stream. All right, guys. So have a great night. I think I got to get some sleep. Be good and good.